I woke up this morning thinking, what am I going to talk about today surrounding the beautiful game? Because I'm only one man and there's just so much to cover. At least I think I'm only one man. Yep, we're good. So I decided to break out my trusty randomizer spinning wheel thingy to help me figure it out. Ahead of this El Clasico, which definitely lived up to its billing in the last 45 minutes of the game, not so much in the first 45. Barcelona was the hottest club team on the planet, evidenced by their 39-game unbeaten streak leading into it, but then something happened which doesn't happen very often. Real Madrid were the clear underdogs in this matchup, with their season being a bit of a mess by their standards with a new unproven manager in charge, and accusations of players being distracted or not fully fit, or not showing up for big games, and they used that to their favor as they came back from a goal down in the second half to score two great goals, one by Karim Benzema and the other by Cristiano Ronaldo, and they beat what now looks like a very vulnerable Barcelona team, which isn't a good sign for Barca ahead of facing Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, and Atletico Madrid, I'd like to add, that loves to take advantage of vulnerability. I mean, doesn't their manager Diego Simeone look like he'd kick you anywhere, anytime, if it meant he could win? Of course he does, and that's why we love him. My favorite surprising stat from this game, minus Madrid coming back to beat Barca in Barcelona for the first time since 1965, well, it's Messi, Suarez, and Neymar combining for one shot on target, which is their fewest shots on goal this season in league play, and it happens to include Suarez's unbelievable whiff on a tap-in the first half. If he scores that, I'm pretty sure we'd be talking about Barcelona winning, and how great they are, and how they're on track to win the treble again this season, but he doesn't, and now we're talking about them being vulnerable. I mean, that's how thin the line is between success and failure at the highest level. It's really thin. Next. This is a major get for Chelsea as they sign one of the best managers around in Antonio Conte, who I'm a big fan of, so much so that I learned how to pronounce his name properly, and because despite considering himself to never be a great talent, he became captain of Juventus, he won 5 Serie A titles, a Champions League, a Coppa Italia, and a UEFA Cup, and then as manager of Juventus, he won 3 straight Serie A titles, including an undefeated season, and a season where the club became the first in Italy to break 100 points. In short, the guy is a winner, much like Jose Mourinho, minus all of the drama. And the lack of drama is just what Chelsea needs, which means I think they'll be contending for the title next season. All right, what's next? With their 4th consecutive 1-0 win, this time over Southampton, and second place Tottenham tying Liverpool 1-1, the Foxes are now 7 points clear on top with 6 games to go. And I never say this phrase because I don't live across the pond, but that is mental. However, their last 6 are against Sunderland, Manchester United, and Chelsea on the road, and that is actually pretty difficult. And West Ham, Swansea, and Everton at home, and actually that's pretty difficult too. But second place Spurs have Manchester United, West Brom, and Southampton at home, and that's pretty tough. And Stoke, Chelsea, and Newcastle on the road, and besides the Newcastle game. That isn't easy either. So after taking everything into consideration, I still think Leicester's gonna do it, and you can sense that they believe it too, and that's more than half the battle. Okay, one more spin because I have to get my hair on point from my radio show tonight on Sirius XM, and that takes some time. Yes, I know I'm the only one that can see it because I'm on the radio, but it gives me confidence. Led by a late goal by their captain Clint Dempsey, the Seattle Sounders won their first game of the season. A 1-0 triumph over the Montreal Impact, while their rivals and reigning MLS champions, the Portland Timbers, got pumped 4-1 by Kaká, who had a goal and 2 assists, and Orlando City, which has to make Seattle's victory taste that much sweeter, especially for longtime Sounders head coach Sigi Schmid, who had to think 1 or 2 more losses in a row would have seen him lose his job. And if that happens, I think former NYCFC manager Jason Kreis would be first in line, since the current general manager of Seattle, Garth Lagerwey, was the general manager of Real Salt Lake when Kreis was there, and they had a ton of success together. So keep an eye on this. All right, that's it. That's all I got. But now I want to hear from you. Will Barcelona still win the league? Most likely. But will they have the energy to win the Champions League again? I'm not so sure anymore. And how about Leicester? That schedule is pretty rough, and they haven't had that bad patch of a season yet, so is it coming? Do you think Antonio Conte will be a good fit for Chelsea? And how about the early part of MLS this season? It's as crazy and unpredictable as always. Comments, thoughts, ideas, whatever's on your mind, let me know. I'm out. Later.